The film opens in the year 2061. The sun is undergoing a rapid deterioration and will soon become a red giant. This has the potential to engulf the Earth's orbit within 100 years, destroying the blue planet. Human society has undergone drastic change in order to survive the destruction of Earth. Putting aside their differences, all of the world's countries have merged to form the United Earth Government. Since then, the UEG has embarked on a daring project dubbed the Wandering Earth Project. The plan is to transport the Earth to its new home, Alpha Centauri, which is a gravitationally bound system of stars and planets similar to the solar system. It is located 4.37 light-years away from the Sun. The Earth's journey to this new solar system is expected to take around 20 years. Furthermore, the project has built 12,000 massive fusion-powered Earth engines across the northern hemisphere. It has also used torque engines along the equator to gradually propel the entire planet out of its original orbit. At the beginning of the film, a Chinese astronaut named Liu Peking supervises Earth's gravitational slingshot maneuver, which uses Jupiter's gravity to assist propulsion. Peking departs for his next mission to the navigation platform, an international space station, leaving behind his young son Liu Kai and foster daughter Han Duoduo. Liu's job aboard the navigation is to assist the Earth in its interstellar journey. After several years, much of the human population has died as a result of multiple violent natural disasters. This includes massive tsunamis that occur when the Earth's rotation is halted. Furthermore, as the planet moves away from the Sun, the majority of its surface freezes solid. As a result, the remaining humans are compelled to live in vast underground cities constructed adjacent to and beneath the various Earth engines. It is the Chinese New Year of 2078, and Peking and his colleagues are preparing to return to Earth after completing their work at the International Space Station. In other news, Peking's son, Liu Kai, has reached adulthood. He works as a heavy truck machinist. Most remaining humans, including Liu Kai, who now live underground, rarely get to see life on the Earth's surface. He's always wanted to ride on the Earth's surface, but due to the catastrophic climate, it's nearly impossible. However, one day he decides to pursue his dream in some way. He obtains 2 thermal suits and fake IDs illegally. In exchange for the goods, Liu Kai smuggles some special instant inflatable bubble capsules to a couple of local thugs, allowing him to see life on the surface for himself. He also brings his younger sister, Han Duoduo, along to assist him in stealing a truck key and clearance pass from their grandfather, Han Zhang. Zhang turns out to be a driver for the Wandering Earth Project. When Liu Kai and his sister reach the surface, they are astounded by the massive structure known as the Earth Engine, which is only one of 12,000 scattered across the globe. They then take Han Zhang's heavy transport vehicle and drive around illegally. As a novice driver, Liu Kai drives clumsily at first and nearly causes an accident, but he soon gets the hang of it and drives confidently. However, the brother and sister are apprehended and arrested at a nearby checkpoint. Their grandpa Han Zhang learns of the situation and comes to their aid. He tries to bribe the jail warden in order to have his grandchildren released, but he ends up in the same cell as his grandchildren. Meanwhile, Peking is preparing to return to Earth from the space station. It's his last shift, and it's also the day the Earth is supposed to glide past Jupiter and accelerate to the necessary speed to leave the solar system. However, things do not go as planned, and as Earth approaches Jupiter to use its gravity assist, Jupiter's gravity unexpectedly becomes irregular. The increase in tidal force causes devastating earthquakes on Earth, rendering many Earth engines inoperable. As a result, the underground cities are crushed, while others are drowned by lava, killing hundreds. To make matters worse, Jupiter begins to exert enormous gravitational force on Earth. This means that the 2 planets are about to collide. Despite the chaos, Liu Kai, his sister, and Han Zhang manage to escape the prison with Tim, another inmate. After exiting, Zhang locates his heavy truck, loads his grandchildren and Tim inside, and begins driving like a pro. On the way, he avoids large buildings, rocks, and other structures. Zhang's plan is to transport everyone to a different underground city. Elsewhere, as the navigation platform approaches Earth, the MOS, the space station's main computer AI, warns everyone that the space station will soon enter low-energy mode, and that everyone should go into hibernation. Peking, who is adamant about meeting his family, requests time and calls his father, Han Zhang. He learns about their imprisonment and the subsequent earthquakes while on the phone. When he discovers that his family is a truck, he directs them to the nearest bunker. He then returns to his quarters and prepares to hibernate. Han Zhang's truck, on the other hand, is intercepted by a rescue team of elite Chinese soldiers led by Captain Wang Lei on an emergency mission. They demand that the truck transport a valuable cargo known as lighter core, which can allegedly be used to ignite the Earth engines. They intend to restart the one Earth engine in Hangzhou using the lighter core. Han Zhang, as expected, is unhappy with the order, but he is forced to comply. Peking soon learns of the new development and requests that Wang Lei allow his family to enter a bunker. However, the latter responds that he will only let them go if Han Zhang assists them in completing their mission. Han Zhang is forced to drive them to Shanghai, where a massive tremor has ripped open a large gap, revealing the old city covered in ice. Han Zhang tells stories about his city memories as the truck drives into the gap. In a flashback, thousands of people are shown frozen solid in the ice, and it is revealed that Liu Kai's sister was one of the few survivors who was adopted by Han Zhang. As the old man continues to tell the story, a second tremor strikes, and the cliffs on both sides of the gap begin to collapse. Everyone abandons their vehicles and rushes to Shanghai's tallest building. Unfortunately, the group's devastation has only just begun. Everything starts moving violently as they climb through the building. They try to use the lighter core to get to a safe location, but things don't go as planned. The team loses a soldier due to the strong tremors, while Han Zhang is isolated on a separate floor. When the old man realizes his oxygen supply is running low, he opens his helmet and freezes to death. In the following scene, Liu Kai confronts Wang Lei and accuses him of being responsible for his grandfather's death. In a fit of rage, he attacks the captain as well, but is easily defeated. Following the altercation, Liu Kai declares that he will no longer be a part of the mission. Forced to carry the lighter core themselves, the elite team marches toward the Earth engine in Hangzhou, while Liu Kai, his sister, and Tim begin their journey home. Peking learns from Moss that his family is missing, and that the Earth has descended into a new round of chaos aboard the space station, just after the hibernation program begins. The AI also claims that the Earth is beyond saving, so they will not return. Moss has now prioritized a new mission. Instead of assisting Earth, the station intends to act as an interstellar ark, seeding a new planet with Earth's biosphere. They intend to send a select group of people, crops, and other items to the new planet so that Earth's legacy can live on in perpetuity. Peking becomes enraged upon hearing this and refuses to give up on Earth. He then tries to break free from the forced hibernation, but Moss intervenes and wakes up the rest of the team to correct the situation. Surprisingly, a Russian teammate named Makarov decides to assist Peking. The two then blow open the nearest hatch and fly out into the vacuum. Makarov sacrifices himself to get to the control center, pushing Peking toward a moving arm. Fortunately, the plan succeeds, and Peking gains control of the control center. Back on Earth, Liu Kai and his companions discover a crashed plane with an intact truck. Inside, they meet the lone survivor, Lai Yi, a mad genius. Yi informs them that Jupiter's gravity is sucking Earth's atmosphere to the point where the air is too thin to fly a plane. He also tells the group that the people on Earth may still have hope. But first, they must rescue a massive torque engine in Sulawesi, near the equator. Hearing this, Liu Kai becomes enraged, but first decides to save the Earth engine in Hangzhou. Peking enters the space station's computer room and attempts to override Moss, but the AI informs him that it is simply carrying out orders authorized by the United Earth government. Meanwhile, outside of Hangzhou, the elite team discovers that the entire city has been consumed by lava. The Earth engine there is irreparably damaged. Soon after, another man dies in the mission, and the team begins to consider whether or not to continue the mission. A female soldier, frustrated, shoots at the lighter core, breaking it, prompting the captain to almost kill her for it. Liu Kai and his group arrive in the truck just then, and Liu Kai informs the elite team about the torque engine on Sulawesi. This piques Wang Lei's interest, and he agrees to assist Liu Kai and his group on their mission to Sulawesi. When they are almost to Sulawesi, they discover that other teams have successfully repaired the engines before them. However, as Earth approaches Jupiter's Roche limit, the combined thrust of the engines is no longer able to divert the trajectory. After Moss informs Peking that all rescue missions are futile, the space station opens a channel to Earth and broadcasts to everyone that they have only 7 days before the Earth is ripped apart. After hearing the bad news, Liu Kai is devastated and reveals that they only have 1 day to live because Jupiter is sucking their air at an alarming rate. Later, as a heartbroken Liu Kai stares at the massive planet, an idea strikes him. Because Jupiter is 90% hydrogen and has recently been sucking a lot of oxygen from Earth, a tiny spark can ignite the entire planet. Earth can be blown away to a safe distance by the impact of the ignition. Liu Kai immediately shares his plan with the genius, and surprisingly, the latter approves. Soon after, they hack the Sulawesi engine and concentrate its power to fire a plasma beam tall enough to ignite Jupiter. The group overcomes various obstacles and is able to reconfigure the engine to carry out the plan. but they are unable to push the engine's firing pin to ignite it. With no other options, the captain, Wang Lei, calls on nearby rescue workers for assistance, but everyone ignores him. Just then, Han Duo, Liu Kai's sister, realizes she can make an emergency call to the space station and request her father's assistance. She contacts Peik and informs him of the plan. But Moss reveals that some Israeli scientists had this idea first, and the chances of success are nil. Nonetheless, Peking continues to call the UEG and request authorization. The UEG refuses to send in reinforcements, but Duo is allowed to broadcast her message to the remaining rescuers. With this opportunity, the young girl gives an emotional speech that touches the hearts of people all over the world. In no time, several rescuers arrive on the scene and begin assisting the group in pushing the massive pin. Liu Kai finally gets the machine unstuck in the following scene. Except for the launch program, everything is now ready. He, the main technician, is severely injured by falling rocks, but he still manages to insert the correct cable into the socket. At long last, the program is uploaded. The torque engine fires a straight red light toward Jupiter's giant eye, but the power never reaches the ignition area. It is only 5,000 kilometers long. Peking, who is also present, suddenly recalls that his space station has 30,000 tons of fuel, which, if ignited, should generate a 5,000 kilometers flame. He informs Moss of the plan, but the AI declines and instead locks the system. Peking, enraged, burns the main computer and takes command of the space station. He then accelerates towards Jupiter and collides. Jupiter's atmosphere quickly begins to burn, and the impact pushes Earth away. Unfortunately, the impact also generates massive impact waves, which begin ravaging Earth. Liu Kai discovers his sister with Tim in the midst of the chaos. The impact wave then hits, sending everyone flying. Tim is holding onto a pipe, but when Liu Kai notices his sister falling, he falls toward her. He heroically catches her in the air and deploys an instant bubble capsule, saving both of their lives. The fall, however, breaks Liu's helmet, and he slowly passes out. He notices, before closing his eyes, that the Earth has survived the ordeal. The film then jumps ahead 3 years, where Liu Kai has become a driver and has earned everyone's respect. Furthermore, the engines have been restarted, and humanity is on the right track to reclaiming its former glory. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.